Recently, me and my family went to Spooniversal Schmoodios. Anyhow, it had been a while since we had gone to any sort of amusement park, and I was more than ready to ride a bunch of awesome rides. I know, I look like the kind of person who would be begging not to go on the big scary roller coaster instead of begging to go on it. Anyhow, one of these days we ended up going to the main park instead of the Isles of Adventure. But in this area of the park, there was one roller coaster I really wanted to ride, called the Slip Slide Socket Coaster. Something important to note before we get much further on, that this coaster was going to get shut down soon. In, September of this year. Anyway, the fact that it's closing might help explain why it got shut down in the first place. Spoiler, I don't think maintenance is a top priority on roller coasters that are getting shut down. So I'm waiting in line for the coaster, reading some of those safety posters they always seem to have on the walls. One of them said that I got to pick music to listen to on the coaster ride. And I was like, that's such a great idea, nice. I started thinking about what kind of music options they might have. Turns out they had like 5 songs, but oh well. I finally arrived at the loading dock and stepped over into my seat. The strap clicked, I picked a song I liked, and we were off. The first 30 seconds of the ride were pretty good, but after that, the music cut out. It definitely wasn't supposed to. It wasn't the end of the song or anything. And the thing is, this coaster was meant to run with music. That was kind of the whole point. So, unlike some of the other roller coasters, there wasn't really anything else to look at or do. It was just kind of a plain old roller coaster ride. In addition to that, once the music cut out, I was able to hear every sound the coaster was making. The wheels rubbing and squeaking, the cart shaking on the tracks. Somehow we managed to make it through the whole ride without incident. And I know you're thinking,
But Recalina, you said you got stuck.
and to that I say, I'm getting to it. Hold on, man. Finally, after a shaky ride, the coaster pulled back into the dock. The cart pulled in and the operators pressed the button that released everybody's buckles so they could unload for the next passengers. I pushed against my restraint to unload from my seat, but it wouldn't budge. After a few more seconds of trying to escape the restraint, the workers noticed and pressed the button again. Still nothing. Most of the passengers had unloaded, and the cart was starting to pull past the spot for new people to load. They stopped the ride. I was honestly so embarrassed that the ride got stopped for me, but it's not like it was my fault. They tried pressing the button a few more times, telling me to push on the restraint each time. After a couple of attempts, a worker came over and tried to pull on the restraint himself. Unfortunately, all he accomplished was actually making the restraint a little bit tighter, just enough that it was a bit uncomfortable. A few moments later, the worker that was pressing the button came over and asked me if I wanted to go around again. At first, I was excited to not have to wait in line, but then I realized that if the restraint was broken, it could also just totally give out mid-ride. After I came to that realization, the worker had already walked away, so I just hoped that he wouldn't start the ride. He didn't. The workers kept repeating the button, pressing and pulling the restraint. And another few minutes later, this lady came up to me and asked if I needed anything. I'm not sure what it was, but somehow the vibe she was giving off just seemed like she was desperately trying to not get sued. I don't know, man. But I was just like, oh no, I'm good. No, thank you. Looking back, I really wish I'd asked for one of those refillable soda cups they had. Dang it. After that, she asked how many people we had in our party. I told her 6. 5 in my family plus my cousin. She walked off someplace else and some guy with a tool case came over to my seat, unscrewed some kind of panel, and then pressed some sort of emergency button or something, and that finally unlocked my seat. I stepped out and joined my mother, sister, and cousin, who were waiting for me. I explained what happened, and then that lady came back over to us. She handed us 6 single-use quick lane tickets, one for each member of our party. We met back up with my brother and my dad, and they told us that they had had trouble getting into their seats, and that they also got quick tickets, but only 2 of them. We ended up being able to enjoy the last, hour or 2 of our time at the park without any other incidents. but we never got the chance to use 2 of those tickets. Moral of the story: don't ride roller coasters that are getting shut down, especially if the name rhymes with slip, slide, socket coaster. 2 out of 10, do not recommend. Hey guys! I just wanted to thank you so much for watching my video. This was my first time trying a long form video, and it was kind of a struggle for me. If you want to continue to support me and see other videos like this one, please consider subscribing. Let me know if you have any crazy amusement park experiences of your own down in the comments, and have a nice day!